All right, guys, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is Friday, February 26th, 2021. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me today and every morning where we talk markets and answer your questions. Before we begin, make sure to click the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, turning on notifications, subscribing to our channel, and liking our videos. As always, expands the channel and more great things to come. Really do appreciate the support. All right, let's go ahead and excuse me, talk market, shall we? Dow futures basically flat, down 1 point. Nasdaq, big bounce, well, nice bounce, up 1.12%. S&P futures up 0.5%. Nice to see. Hit that support. I'll go ahead and talk about that here in a second. Russell 2000 index up 0.34% on the futures side. Bitcoin futures down 5.9%. Crude futures down 1.64%, 62.49. Gold futures down 0.83% as they continue to slide, 1760 an ounce. Silver futures 26.91 currently down 2.78%. Yields finally falling a little bit as the bond market is starting to bounce slightly, 0.44% on the 10-year futures. That's /TN. VIX currently is down 5.43%, 27.32 after being up as much as 45% yesterday. Copper futures down 2% at 4.17 or $4.17. Euro dollar for my forex people down 49 pips, 21.27. 106.30 for the dollar yen. Down, actually it's up about 6 pips, and the dollar index is up 0.42%, 90.51. So dollar index is up and Nasdaq is up. There you go. Interesting enough. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at bond land. Where are we at with bonds? I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at FinViz. 10-year yield is currently at 1.465. So getting some bond buying today. That's good news. That's good to see that we're getting a little bit of a bounce. Okay, so let's kind of go over. I went over this last night on Twitter. Guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you're missing out on a lot. At least just follow G.A.R Capital and you're going to be good because I talk a lot on there. So if you are all about like my little videos that I posted on G.A.R Capital, some analysis and market commentary, you definitely want to go ahead and follow us on Twitter because I do tweet. Now, next week, I won't be tweeting as much since, as you know, I'll be on vacation from Tuesday to Friday. So I'll be with my wife for her birthday. Monday, I'll be around. I'm going to do the live trading session on Monday with our YouTube Premium. If you're interested in YouTube Premium, we'll put the link up on Instagram so you guys can follow it. But back to Twitter. Again, G.A.R Capital on Twitter. There's so much information out there, guys, that is free of charge. There's no charge. There's no premium Twitter. It's just Twitter. So I highly recommend you give us a follow. We're almost near. We're going to get close to 10,000, which is going to be pretty cool. Once we get to 10,000, I'll do a live trading session with you guys on YouTube and have a little fun. But we talked about futures this go around. So let's take a look at futures together. I want you to go look at this. Now, with futures, the most important thing, guys, is looking at your chart. So if you've traded Forex before, you probably know how to read a chart. And futures is kind of the same thing. So what I was looking at yesterday, I talked about it on Twitter, was at 3801 level, the 50-day moving average on the daily chart. Extremely important. Let's zoom into it. You could see literally bounce to the T. And I went ahead and went long, and I even tweeted that I went long on Twitter. I think our level was 38.34. So we're up about 11 points, and I can show you where we are on that. And you could see long futures, S&P futures, 38.34 entry, 38.45 currently, up about $287. Now, is that going to set the world on fire? No. But again, it is very nice that you could trade that overnight. And it's volatile, guys. So you could see on E-mini futures, you're seeing a slight base here. We should get a breakout. If we do break 38.62, then 38.74 is in focus. The good news is that the 50-day moving average has not crossed the 100 on the daily, so there's no death cross there yet. That's something that I do like because we did cross over. So again, as long as the 100 stays below the 50, again, moving average is playing it here. But again, we should get a pop to 38.62. That'd be my target for today. If we do get 38.62, taking profits would not be a bad thing. Or you just can move your stop loss to break even or your entry. So you're basically playing with no risk for the most part. But 38.62 is my next target. And then 38.74 on E-mini futures as I am long. I'm working on a futures video program training course, kind of like the option stuff, to get a little more in depth. So if you are interested in that, that'll be coming. It's going to take a couple of days for me to set up. So again, I have to do the recording, I have to do the explanation, and there'll be some live trading in there. So I know you guys have been clamoring for features, so I'm definitely working on that. A couple of trades that we opened yesterday have some MU calls. There was some unusual options activity on Micron. I saw a lot of continuous bull bets coming on a Micron, so I am long Micron on some options, but they're a little longer dated. One is for next week and one is for March 19th. So again, nice pushback up. We also got into Twitter yesterday. Funny enough, we got to 39% on Twitter and I did not close. No big deal, I just missed it. But again, we got 3 price upgrades this morning. So Twitter was talking about some new revenue streams, pretty strong. Even ARK, which is Kathy Wood, they also added their position on Twitter. So that should boost the stock a little bit. I have the 80 calls for next week. Obviously with the flush yesterday, it did fall. All this was yesterday, the volatility of the market. So it wasn't Twitter specific, it was just the market. And of course, NASDAQ was down big yesterday. But now we're bouncing back a little bit. So again, a relief rally. We got that, I believe, on Tuesday, that relief rally too. And then we had that continuous rally on Wednesday, and then Thursday we dropped. So again, volatility is what's happening, especially with this sharp move in yields. But for the most part, guys, March tends to be a very bullish month in talking about absolute returns. Since 1950, when they started recording the S&P in regards to the data, to now, March is a very strong month for the bulls. Obviously, last year being COVID withstanding. So just wanted to go over that with you. That's what I'm holding. Again, E-mini futures is what I'm looking at. Again, I'm still rocking the financials. I'm still rocking the energy. Again, the reflation trade has worked. Again, we could take a look now at some pre-market movers. Again, with our friends at investing.com, which I use. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. Sundial growers, again, I see this all the time. It's up 1%. AMC up 0.24%. GameStop up 14%. I saw online that one of the highest volume on the board was the 800 calls expiring today. Wow. NIO is up 0.53%. Looking at the Dow here, Apple's up 1.29%. Microsoft 117. Salesforce had a great report, but they're down 1.5%. I think they're a great company. Chevron's down. So again, crude is coming back, pulling back a little bit of rotation back into tech that may have been or is oversold. Tesla up 2% today, which is nice. One of my larger positions in my portfolio. Carnival up 2%. Twitter up 2.29. I own that. Bank of America is down 1.84. They just started doing layoffs. Nvidia up 3.36%. So again, looks like tech is bouncing. Baidu down slightly. JD.com up a little bit. Facebook up 1.39%. So it's looking that tech will bounce back today, which is a good thing because I know most of you individuals, traders, have tech in your portfolio, which like I do. So looking good. 2 stocks I want to watch to buy today. I'm looking at Teladoc and I'm watching Airbnb. Finally, they have a report out after their IPO. Airbnb looks very solid. I may add a position here and start a position on Airbnb to invest in. Teladoc is another company that I've been very, very, very interested in getting to. But I waited and I was waiting to get to that 200-day moving average on the daily, which is around 210. So I may just buy the dip here on Teladoc and see where it goes from there. So with that being said, there may be some companies that I may sell and just take some profits and move it over to growth. Because I have some names that are not very growthy, like a McDonald's, for example. So I may sell that, and I've owned it for a while now. I may just rotate out and get into Teladoc and Airbnb just for me. That's something that I want to go ahead and do. But again, I'll talk about that with the investment club as we go. But just a heads up. If you're interested in the investment club, G.A.R Capital FX.com, where I talk about my portfolio and I invest in what I invest, and you can always follow me. All right, let's answer some questions. Good morning. RKT calls Rocket. They reported yesterday and they did beat, but they are flat pre-market. Oh no, that's right. That's daily chart. They are up pre-market, so that looks pretty solid. Let's see if we get some volume. It's a nice breakout. Let's see if we get continuation. Hey Carlos, this is Carmen. Good morning. Missed you yesterday, live yesterday. But I wanted to ask you about this correction. Yeah, I had a live yesterday with Nick, our VP, and on his personal Instagram. So we were just talking about stocks and stuff, and then some sneakers. I wanted to ask you about this correction. This isn't a correction, by the way. Do you think this is the year where we get bear market? We're staying bullish. Absolutely staying bullish. We're only 3% off all-time highs, guys. That's not a correction. If you want to take a look at what a correction is, then you need to check out our Instagram because I posted the numbers. XLF JPM, yeah, XLF, again, a little bit of a pullback, nothing crazy. I'm still bullish XLF, and you can see right at the 100-day moving average, it'll rotate into that. I do believe that banks and financials will still rotate back into the market with yields coming back. Again, it's just one-day relief rally, in my opinion. We should re-rotate back. Good morning, Carlos. Levels on Etsy and beyond. Etsy and beyond. Etsy is looking very solid. I would wait for 225 or at least the 200-day. And beyond. Beyond's looking solid too, but I would wait for 160. I need a little more. TLT puts dead? No, we closed TLT puts yesterday. I caught those. I even put it on Twitter. I sold those yesterday, man. We made about 33% on TLT puts, which was live on Twitter. I talked about it. So if you're not on Twitter, you're missing out. Thoughts on Teladoc and Open. Teladoc I just talked about. I don't know what Open is. Open is what? Open Door Technologies. I've never heard of them, so I can't give any information on them. Did you manage to add in your square position? I did. Price point to add on Tesla shares. Tesla, I have my level at 619, which is the lows. Carlos must buy the dip on Space. It is bouncing, so let me see where my level is on Space. Space would really be right here at 37.19 to buy the dip. Again, guys, you want a really good deal. You want a good deal, not just any dip. I want a little more. So call me greedy, but I want a really good deal. Should I put my rent money into Palantir? Absolutely not. How's we looking? We could take a look at our good friends at THCX, and we are basically flat. But again, from the top 32.80 now to 20, I have 1881 as a level to buy more. Do you think spot will rebound soon? Again, everything fell yesterday, guys. Everything fell. I have an alert on Spotify at 294.99 to buy more, and I do think they'll rebound. Yeah, offered senior notes. What does it mean for spot? They're just borrowing money in the bond market. That's all it is. Would you average in or get in options that premium users didn't take when you signaled? Specifically, I'm talking about XLF because it took a big hit after hours. Again, it's just a re-rotation. That's all. XLF was unusual options activity. I still have it, and I'm still going to hold it. And keep in mind, that's for May. It's for May, guys. Got time. Thoughts on Tesla, Palantir, and NVIDIA? I love them both long term. Is this a dip buying good opportunity for high growth tech or too early? I would say set up your alerts beforehand. I don't want you just to buy in every single dip. Make it a meaningful one. Make it a meaningful discount. Thoughts on CCIV calls? I don't see anything here on CCIV to play, to be honest with you. What's your predictions on GME tanking on the open? GME seems to be bouncing. We could get a squeeze higher. Maybe 160. Shoot, it can get to 180. This thing is so volatile. We got to see. Airbnb, I do like. I'm probably gonna buy stock in it today. Airbnb looks great. I read the report. It's definitely a growth name, and I think it's worth buying. What are your Nvidia price to add shares? Nvidia, I think I had my alert here on the daily. Yep, $500.14, right? Support. DKNG looks strong through the dip. What do you think about them with earnings? I didn't read their earnings report yet because I was just reported this morning. But I have an alert at 50.83 to buy, but they're at 60 now. Look at that bounce. Look at that rise here. Nice numbers, I'm assuming, because the market is cheering. So good stuff. XLE. XLE, again, long-term with energy. I think it's great for long-term. Are you buying any GME for fun? No GME for fun. GME, I have stock, which is for charity. That if it hits all-time highs again, I only have 5 shares. If it hits all-time highs again, I will take the profit and give it to Portnoy's Barstool Fund, which helps small businesses. So again, it was just more of a charity thing. What price will you be adding Airbnb? I don't have it yet. So literally at the open, I'll go ahead and start taking a look when I could buy. Probably right around here, 193, 195, I'll probably buy some. Anything sub 200, I'll probably be buying Airbnb. Any plays we're watching? Oh, it's Friday. So again, we have to see what we get. So don't feel the need to jump into anything. I already have some trades open. So I'm not in the rush to jump into anything. And Zynga, Senga is always a good one for unusual options activity, but there's really nothing there, to be honest with you, to play. Do you see more downside ahead next week or stabilize rebound? I think we stabilize and rebound. I think we get back to around 38.60, what I talked about in evening futures, maybe 38.74, and then March tends to be more of a bullish month. So again, I think we can maybe test our all-time highs, but at minimum 39.20 in evening futures. I do say we bounce across the board in March. So good stuff. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and leave it there. I will catch you guys on Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend, and make sure to follow us on Twitter, G.A.R Capital, for up-to-date information. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, as always fun. And we'll go ahead and leave it at that. I'll catch you guys on Monday for the morning note. Cheers, guys. Have a great weekend.